Thunder today. A high this afternoon will be into the low 90s. Tonight, an outside chance of a shower or storm early. An overnight low will drop down mid to upper 60s. Wednesday, sunshine, isolated showers and storms in the mix. A high into the low 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Morning, 11:01, Tuesday, September the 16th. Good to be with you. Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing. Over the next 3 hours, a couple of guests will join us. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio 115. Alyssa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, about 30 minutes from now. And lots to get to as we get ready for this Memphis game on Saturday at the Liberty Bowl at 11 o'clock, which, of course, you can hear right here on ESPN Arkansas. Our game day programming starting at 6 in the morning with Arkansas Game Day. Let's get it ready for the week after. 2 11 o'clock kicks in a row, Matt. One in the Liberty Bowl and then one at home against Notre Dame, and then we'll get a week off.
A lot of Spinal Tap fans.
That's right. Yeah. I haven't seen the movie yet. It came out,
I haven't either.
A few days ago. I saw one review for Spinal Tap 11, or is it 2? I can't tell.
It's 2 words. You know, it's like, They can't write that.
What kind of a sandwich was that again? Yeah. It's like anytime you see a bad review of that movie, the first one, or maybe this one, because I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. You think, well, they didn't get the jokes then. They just aren't in on that kind of humor. Just
That's
like
okay.
Ty.
That's okay.
It's not made for everybody. That's for sure.
That's right.
That is for sure. Well, I mean, there's just a lot to hit on here from yesterday's Little Rock Touchdown Club appearance by Hunter Yurachek, who I think David Basil remarked that he had been there longer than anybody else as far as consecutive visits, 7 years in a row. And, well, I mean, we'll just play the clip that's kind of getting a lot of people. There's 2 clips more than anything that are getting people talking this morning. So we'll just play the first one, which I'm assuming you might have already heard by now, but just to set the tone, here we go. This is Hunter Yurachek. This was, by the way, I watched the entire appearance for Hunter this morning on the Touchdown Club's YouTube page. And he was up there for about, I guess he spoke himself for 18, 20 minutes, and then David asked him did a Q&A session for about 10 minutes after that. And this was the last thing that they discussed. This was kind of the wrap up of the whole thing, because, Hunter's giving the usual spiel that I think any athletic director will, not just about football. When you're going through the litany of success of your athletic department, and this is something that at Arkansas is, I think, in some people's minds turned into a little bit of unforced humor. I don't look at it that way because, I understand football always going to bring in the most money and get the most attention. But you still take pride in everybody else's achievements on campus. Certainly when you're a member of the administration, I don't think you just have to put that face on. I think you do feel that pride. So it goes through all of the success of, the programs that did have success last year, and then went into the financial changeover in the whole industry of college athletics. And where that's kind of, I think in his mind, placed Arkansas football in the hierarchy in the Power Four conferences, in which, I don't know, in my estimation, the way that I think about college football is that if you play in the Power Four, heck, if you play in the SEC, let's just throw away the idea of being part of the Big 12 and the ACC. If you play in the SEC, you catch lightning in the bottle, you get the right combination, you get the right chemistry, throw the right amount of money at the right guy in a couple of places, coach a few guys up, do some money ball, in a football sense, that if you compete in the SEC and you win in the SEC, and you're not just, fifth place, sixth place, fourth place, if you really are competing in the SEC, then you are competing for a national championship. Am I right about that, Matt? Do you think so too?
The SEC or Big Ten, I would agree with you. You got to have a couple guys like a Jason Peters or a Sean Andrews. Sean Andrews is a local kid. He's an Arkansas kid. Jason Peters was a guy Coach Nutt had to kind of go get. And the thing is, could you keep guys like that around? I don't know, but you get a Darren McFadden, a Doak Walker winner back-to-back. Yeah, you get the right guys in here. I mean, you get another kid like Taylon Green. I think Taylon Green's good enough to start for quarterback. We had this conversation before the season started. Is Taylon Green a top 4 quarterback in the SEC?
Yes.
I think it's an easy answer. Yeah,
absolutely he is. But if you're well, let me just play this. I'll just play Hunter's. Then this was the last thing that he said at the Touchdown Club yesterday.
To win a national championship in men's basketball moving forward. We know we're set up to win a national championship in baseball moving forward, and I think we're set up in several other sports to win a national championship. Football, where we are right now, we're not set up to win a national championship. I'll just be brutally honest with that. But I think we're set up to compete really well in the Southeastern Conference, especially now with the new revenue sharing model.
You feel that's directly related to directly related to finances. That's what you feel when you say that, correct?
Absolutely. It's directly related to finances and what programs were able to invest in their teams in the past to win a national championship.
All right, so obviously we know it takes more money to put a football team together. It's just more people, more scholarships, more salary, more NIL. You have more coaches there. It's just a bigger operation. So I can appreciate the idea that when you're talking about a limited amount of resources, that it takes more of those limited resources to succeed at football than it does in the other sports. But that also, Matt, can, for me, independently, sometimes I think we too often equate success on the field with dollars raised, with revenue. And it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes it works that way, but it doesn't always work that way. And it is a little bit jarring to hear an athletic director in an SEC school, no matter which one it is, to come out and say we are not in position to win a national or compete for a national championship in football, but we are in all the other sports. I don't know. It's like saying the quiet part out loud. You know what I mean?
So, this is the first time I've heard this. I haven't listened to any of this before. So he's just about getting the right people to donate more money. Is that what he's doing? Because that's he's a fundraiser, right? Like if you're thinking about if you're layering his job at what it is, one of the things is a fundraiser. He's supposed to raise funds for the football program. Is that his way of doing that? Is that what you think he's saying is? Because you can't say there's not money in Arkansas. The people just bought the Denver Broncos for $1 billion they're from Arkansas.
Right.
Yeah, there's plenty of money in Arkansas. It's just you got to get in the right doors.
Well, and David did press him on that a little bit, but this also came a little bit earlier before he was even talking about not being set up to compete for a national title. And kind of hits on the idea of, we need some of the millionaires or billionaires. You wonder if the crowdsourcing of some smaller amount of funds in Arkansas actually works.
Is that what you have to have going forward, is to have 10, 20, 30 Frank Fletchers that have to, that will jump in and support an individual player? Is it back to what you talked about last year, back to the NIL pool of getting everybody to contribute?
Yes. if we could get 10 to 20 Frank Fletchers, and we do, and then we get people across the state to continue to support us. I mean, again, and I mean this in all seriousness. I mean, what makes this state special? We're one of the smallest states in the country, and we have our flagship athletic program is a self-sustaining athletic program, and we have found a way to make it work, and it's because people across this state, not just the Frank Fletchers and those that have the wherewithal to support us at a high level, but everybody doing whatever they can.
You know, think about who you're speaking to at the Little Rock Touchdown Club. Just the people in that room alone.
They're all
When-
paying money for a seat for that. Yeah.
Well, when you're speaking to this club, you're speaking to the country too. I mean, this has become, the sort of weekly event that gets a lot of publicity depending on what is said. Now, it's kind of interesting when you look on some of the national websites, this is not really a story because they also agree with Hunter. And this is saying to us the quiet part out loud, but it's the loud part that's being said loudly to a lot of the national folks. I mean, I think it feels like it's understood that at least financially, Arkansas is not set up to annually compete for a national championship. So when you're speaking to those folks inside the Touchdown Club, you're kind of hoping that some of those people that might not have thrown some money your way are about to throw some money your way. But I don't always think that money equals wins or equals championships. And I think athletic directors know that too. It's just you can never raise enough money is what it comes right down to. And when you're competing against bigger schools with bigger alumni bases, bigger enrollments, just larger overall sponsorships, and just a larger state to draw from, are you ever going to be at that level? Probably not. Probably not. And that gets to another thing of what he's hitting at there's two ways to do things. There's the NIL avenue, there's the revenue share avenue, and there's that third way, which is the under the table cheating, but not really cheating any longer sort of a thing, the no-show jobs, the Kawhi Leonard way, I guess, of doing it in the NBA. And it's admitting in a sense, you know what, we're not doing that, and maybe we do need to do that. So there's just a lot going on in there. And, I don't know if any of the players or any of the coaches are going to worry about what's said at the Touchdown Club. But if you're any of those players or coaches, this is also something that you don't really, want to hear about your group of players right now. If this team, Matt, would have beaten Ole Miss on Saturday and would have been 3-0 going into the Memphis game, beat Memphis 4-0, see a pull an upset over Notre Dame, which I think is doable. I think it's going to be doable. And you're 5-0 going into the bye with only one SEC game in. But at that point, you're ranked. And I'm not sitting here telling you that means you're going to compete for a national championship. But at that point, you got a road win over Ole Miss. You got a win over Notre Dame. You're 5-0, and maybe you are going to compete for a national championship in the day and age of the 12-team playoff. So, but I know they didn't beat Ole Miss, so Matt, I don't think they're going to compete for a national title this year anyway.
We're going to be this Memphis game scares me a little bit. I think we're more talented than Memphis, but you hope they're 20-year-old kids. They're 20. The emotions ride. You hope that they're consistent. They just had a tough one, man. You went down and played a night game in Ole Miss. It's going to take you 2 days for your body to kind of get back to ready to go. That's why you hope they've been getting the fluids and getting the treatment. And Memphis, I have a couple skill guys on their team that you're going to have to watch out for. And then you get Notre Dame. And so these next two games before the bye week, Phil, very important. 4-1 looks a lot better than 2-3 or 3-2. So it's this Memphis game is extremely important.
I know you put like a must win or anything on a game that's in September, but you got to beat Memphis. You got to beat them on the road. It's not a matter of convincingly or anything, but I do think covering would look nice. And just some more than anything, just to bounce back, show you can get a road win. Although, Matt, I know that under Sam, they're good for one road win each year. I'd like there to be another one on the schedule at some point. It's going to be in front of 100,000 people if that happens. Memphis routinely gets crowds of 25, 30,000. Yeah, there'll be a lot of Razorback fans there at the Liberty Bowl. So I'm not saying it'll be a home game, but it won't feel like one of those on-campus road games where the entire crowd's going against you.
Yeah, it's going to be Memphis. I think is better than Arkansas State, and so it's going to be another game like that, Phil. Where look at us in the first half against Arkansas State and Ole Miss. I mean, the offense has just been putting on a clinic in the first half. Those two games. if we score 28 points in the first half against Memphis, I think we'll be okay. And that being said is jump out on them. Don't give them any feelings of belief and hope that, hey, we can hang with them, because if it's a single-score game coming down in the fourth quarter, do you have faith that Arkansas is going to make the plays to win the game?
Well, I mean, do you mean on the defensive side of the ball?
I mean, I just mean if it's a single-score game against Memphis, you win and lose as a team. If in 3 quarters go by, it's the fourth quarter, and it's a single-score game, single-possession game, do you have faith that Arkansas is going to make the plays to get it done? Or because it becomes a habit, it becomes who you are, it becomes your identity. Or do you think this team, folds like a cheap tent?
When you look at the game against Oklahoma State last year and how that set the tone for what the season was like, close losses, defense struggles, turnovers. What I hope last Saturday against Ole Miss doesn't show us is that this is a script that you're going to see throughout the year, because that Oklahoma State game happened a few times last year, not just in that game. I don't want this to be a team that is so close to being good enough to beat good teams, because that's what happened against Ole Miss. They should have won that game, but didn't. So, and Matt, that unfortunately right now is the defining characteristic of Sam Pittman's tenure at Arkansas, is being just close enough, but not quite good enough. And so when you ask that question, I don't really right now have an affirmative answer for you based on what happened just a less than a handful of days ago, and based on what's happened in these 5+ years. So I don't know if just based on what you've seen. I mean, you want to have hope, you want to think that your guys will get that done, but based off the track record, man, the answer is probably negative, unfortunately. And that's got to change this year, because this one against Ole Miss is not going to be the only close game this season, that's for sure. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. The lines are open right after the break, and we're back in a moment.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
Second down, the give is to Felix Jones on an end around. Jones to the 30 to 40. Jones in midfield. He may go. 25, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Arkansas. Felix Jones goes 72 yards. And the Razorbacks increase their lead.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned with qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
Dave and the crew at Eastside Liquor have everything you need. Football is back, and so is their Oktoberfest beers. Make sure you try their ready-to-drink cocktails and their outstanding bourbon selection. 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, with a convenient drive-through. You can also give them a call at 479-452-7311. Eastside Liquor, everyday low prices on beer, wine, spirits, and cigars.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey anglers, do you have what it takes to win the Beaver Big Bass Tournament? Sunday, September 21st on Beaver Lake. Entries are $175 per participant, with a first place payout of $20,000 based on 200 participants. Launch and fish from anywhere on the lake, but hourly and overall weigh-ins are all at Prairie Creek Public Tournament site. Lines hit the water at 6:30 a.m., and we start weighing fish at 7 a.m. for the first of 3 hourly slots. The scales close at 1 p.m., and we crown a winner. Go to facebook.com arkansasfuelinjection.com/THE3DROSCOE. See you on the water.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Hey, this is Chad Warner, product manager for Booyah Bait Company in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The hottest swim jig on the Arkansas River right now is the Booyah Mobster. It was designed by the Muddy Water Mob, a bunch of river rats from Arkansas and Oklahoma, and it's winning tournaments on Dardanelle and Kerr like clockwork. If you're fishing submerged vegetation, water willow, lily pads, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. Available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma, the Booyah Mobster.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Show you it's all about the be rich.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Going to go right to the Lewis Automotive Hotline to start this segment. We've got a couple of Arthurs that one's on the text line. He says he's from New Hampshire. Arthur is on the Lewis Automotive phone line right now. He says he's in Vermont. I mean, these are contiguous states in New England, nowhere near Arkansas. Arthur, are you the same person in both Vermont and New Hampshire?
That would be me, but they released me from the halfway house in New Hampshire, and now I'm doing my paper in Vermont, but that's another story. I got a couple of questions. When is Clay coming on here soon to help put some context on this? The defense got schooled a little bit. I mean, hopefully they can correct a few things, but I'm curious as to see what he thinks happened and maybe what that could be done to, it just kind of like, it doesn't seem like it's a good thing for guys just to be running free through the defensive secondary, but I'm not really one to, I don't think it's a good thing, but I'm not sure exactly why or how it can be stopped. And then I didn't really get an answer from, how you doing today, Matt?
Yo.
I didn't really get an answer to my question last week. I'm still curious about where you're at on your basketball game. I mean, you're shooting some hoop, there's balling, and then there's straight hooping. And just so here's a question. If you're moving along the baseline, let's say I get you a pass to you in space along the base, baseline, are you laying it off the glass? Are you going over the rim? Or are you going to go reverse and then go over the rim? I mean, just tell me where you're at, Matt.
Oh, no, I'm a below-the-rim player.
I think he's going to use the rim as a protector, a little reverse layup. Probably.
I'm like the big three. When you're watching those guys in the big three, I'm going to body you up.
Okay. Because I was just curious because back in the day, I mean, I remember you watching you run the court and putting it down with both hands. But I guess we all aren't where we used to be, I guess. But I'm still curious. And Matt, I mean, do you think these things can be corrected in the defense? Is it just a matter of like figuring out who needs to be where? It seems like kind of like once they got pissed off after their boy got injured, they played pretty well. Don't you think they should break out the red pants for Memphis? I mean, kind of tell me where you're at on that, and I'll just kind of hang up and listen.
All right, way to go, Arthur. I'm very interested in the other story that he's going to protect for the time being. Go ahead, Matt.
The white jerseys and red pants. Ooh, I would like that. I think that would be sharp. I think we have to realize what this game was. This first game at Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin, Bobby Petrino. I think you saw two offensive coordinators just get going at it. And then I think you saw defensive coordinators make adjustments at halftime. I mean, Travis Williams has not forgot how to coach. That dude's going to be a head coach before you know it. So let's appreciate him while he's at Arkansas. I think he's a great recruiter. If you're looking at just talent, the defense is not as talented as the offense. And most teams, I think most coaches, I know Dave Van Horn, if you're talking other sports, man, you want to have a good defense. You want to make sure you don't want any errors. You want to be able to get stops. Defense wins championships. Offense wins games. This team's not going to win a championship, but can we win some games? Yeah. We can get in a shootout and outscore some people, 42-38, stuff like that. There's no doubt in my mind we can win some shootouts. We have to play an Iowa-type team. We have to play somebody where the score is going to be 14-10. We're probably that's not this team. Last year, yeah, we could win teams that's how we had to win, was we had to keep them under a certain threshold and then hope our offense can score. Now let's try to get, if you can get one or two extra possessions a half, meaning a 3 and out, meaning a turnover. Can you be special on special teams? There's different ways to go about to solving the problem, finding the solution. I'm not gonna be mad at that. You can't. It's like you can't ask kids to do what they're not capable of doing. It'd be like asking. I used the analogy yesterday. Like, why doesn't Ozzie Smith hit more home runs? Well, that's not what he does. That's not his thing. That doesn't mean he can't do it, but that's not really what you're not asking him to do. That this is more of an offensive team. And if your defense can find a way to steal a possession, one or two per half, then you can win. You can beat anybody.
At his presser yesterday, Matt, Sam highlighted a change at halftime that might be a real reason why they performed better in the second. Not great, but better in the second half compared to the first half. And he put it on coaching specifically.
We've got to do a better job over there coaching, and we have to do a better job of making sure that our kids have time to process. And those two things we didn't do well, but we did better in the second half, which gives us a little bit of spark going into this week that, hey, we've got good players. Let's line them up and quit trying to win the chess match every time and let our players play.
It sounds to me like he's talking about a little over-coaching, over scheming. A little. He's talking about we're always checking. There's a check to check, and then you're checking again, and you're not quite sure where you got to be at that moment because this is a defense made up of new players who hadn't been in this scheme before, and I think it's a different scheme than we'd seen previously. So it sounds to me, Matt, like he'd like his players to go a little bit more by instinct than by
play fast.
Yes,
play fast and know your run fits, know your pursuit angles. But I'm with you. That's what it sounds like. If you're checking and then all of a sudden, hey, you're checking out to the D-back and he's like, uh-oh. Like there's a thought. There's like not that he doesn't, but in the time when, because it's a very it's very matter of fact. It's very quick. Things happen really fast. And if you hesitate for a second when you're guarding somebody who runs a 4-4, then you're
open man running down the middle of the field.
Then you're in trouble.
I mean, I think that could explain some of it, because busted coverage is different than just getting beat one-on-one. There was busted coverage in this last one.
There was a couple where that two players would release, it seems like, and then 7 yards down the field they would kind of, and then the guy stays on the other side of him, and you're like, you have to fight over that. They're on scholarship too. They understand what a switch release is, and so they're going to push it back as far as you can. And somebody has to come up and attack that and be able to follow them underneath, because when you get caught in the wash, there's 17. That's as open as you can get. And some of these guys, you let them catch the ball in open field, one-on-one, you're not going to tackle them. I mean, you got a group tackle.
It sounds to me like it might be a case of TMI, too much information, not during the week, not at practice, not in how you want to scheme up and go beat your opponent defensively and slow them down. Then more than anything, it's about leading up to the play, too much information, and not knowing what the change in coverage means where you got to be. So, I mean, I guess being a complex defense is a great thing sometimes, but then you got to have your guys know the complexities of the defense. So I think there's two ways to look at this, and maybe we'll learn a little more about the defense as it goes along. Maybe this is a defense that, when you look at them together individually, they might not be built for that kind of complexity, but they might be built to just kind of go out and get them. I don't know. I mean, we may find out this week against Memphis, because you got a quarterback that you're going to have to hem him. He does like to run quite a bit. Got to remind you about Walker Brothers in Fayetteville and Rogers, also Bowman's in Little Rock. True style is never accidental. It's intentional, refined, and unmistakable. You'll find that every visit at Walker Brothers in Fayetteville and Rogers, and Bowman's in Little Rock, where every jacket, shirt, and shoe is hand-selected for men who understand the power of a good impression. Big meetings, special occasions, you're going to arrive with quiet confidence and a respected presence. If you look good, you feel good, and if you feel good, you play good. Walker Brothers and Bowman's fine men's clothing, your life, your style, your store. After the break, we've got Varsity Vibe podcast host Alyssa Orange joining us. This is Halftime.
I am the one who knocks. This is Halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads, race car bobbleheads, little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hey, this is Chad Warner, product manager for Booyah Bait Company in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The hottest swim jig on the Arkansas River right now is the Booyah Mobster. It was designed by the Muddy Water Mob, a bunch of river rats from Arkansas and Oklahoma, and it's winning tournaments on Dardanelle and Kerr like clockwork. If you're fishing submerged vegetation, water willow, lily pads, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. Available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma, the Booyah Mobster.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
new Beyond Raw Lit V2 pre-workout. GNC's #1 pre-workout, now with harder-hitting energy, an intense mind-body connection, and enhanced endurance support. This isn't just pre-workout, it's precision engineering for your body. Turbocharge your workout with new Beyond Raw Lit V2. Available now at GNC and GNC.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Hardee's Original Bag is back, now with even more full-size sandwiches. Choose any two. The new spicy chicken sandwich, hot ham and cheese, hand-breaded chicken tender wrap, or charbroiled double cheeseburger. Mix and match any two. With fries and a drink, just $6.99. Why settle for junior burgers? Get big savings on full-size goodness in Hardee's country. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary. See app for terms.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
We come from different worlds. You like to laugh at me when I look at another girl. Sometimes it's crazy, and you wonder why. I'm such a baby, cause the dolphins make me cry. But there's nothing I can do. I've been looking for a girl like you.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
I think, Matt, did you plan on one of the world's most noted Dolphins fans to introduce one of our
Even the
favorite
Dolphins make
fans?
me cry.
It's two days in a row. What is with us and the Dolphins fans? Charlie, now Alyssa. So I guess we got to have. I don't know what it'll be like throughout the season, but we need it. We need Kleenex to be a sponsor for this segment. Alyssa, how are you today?
It's bad. I'm great, but you better believe I probably will only be watching about 5 minutes of this game on Thursday night against the Bills because I won't be able to stomach it. So there's that.
Alyssa, I'm like that with the Hogs. The Chad Morris years, Alyssa. Whenever,
Oh, God.
like, I would watch I see McMahon out here, but like it hurts too much to we're down 30 sets. It's like I can't even watch this.
I've watched one Pirates game this year, Alyssa.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Okay, it's okay.
Was it the one they beat the Dodgers?
No, it was Paul Skeens against the Cubs, and they won. So, hey, I'm perfect this year.
There you go. Well, yeah, no, it's bad. It's bad, and I thought that there was a chance. There was a chance on Sunday, and I don't even know. I don't know where to begin with the Dolphins right now. I'm a little speechless, to be honest.
Well, at least you're not the Cincinnati Bengals that start off 2-0 and then lose your quarterback, so their season's over. That's for sure. We were talking a little bit about Hunter Yurachek. Have you watched that from the Little Rock Touchdown Club yet, Alyssa?
I've watched some bits and pieces about what he said. I mean, obviously, the big thing everyone's walking away and talking about since he said it was about, Arkansas football not being set up to win a national championship. Is that what the buzz is about on your end right now?
Yeah, more than anything, that's.
So I got all these thoughts.
Well, it's that, and also the idea of you got to go the third lane. There's the third way, which is the, I guess the
gray
under the
area,
table, the
I
gray
guess,
area
yeah.
way of doing things. Which these things, I guess, could go together, right? If you feel you're not set up to compete for a national championship, is that third way the way to get at it?
Yeah, it's risky, right? But you play that card of, it's like, do you just, to keep up with the Joneses, do you have to play the Joneses game, right? Like, do you have to just play that way to be able to compete that way? And I know a lot of people got upset about what Hunter said. And I don't know what you guys have said on it, but I'll tell you my feelings. I think the point, I understand what he was trying to say, in that those other sports like basketball and baseball and softball and track and field, because they do it all the time. And sports like that, they're set up to win national championships. They're recruiting at a very high level. They are winning national championships, of course, if you're the track team, or you've been really close on the cusp of winning a national championship. It's just something here or there happens, and it doesn't come to fruition. But the football team is so much further, less along than those other sports are to win a national title, specifically when you compare them to the teams that are like your Ohio States and your Alabamas and even Penn State and Texas and Notre Dame and Clemson. Not right now, though. Clemson's trash. But you can't sit here and be mad at Hunter Yurachek, even though he said it. Should he have said it? But that's like Mississippi State coming out and saying, well, we're not set up to win a national title. Like, yeah, duh. And so I'm not trying to compare Arkansas to Mississippi State, but I do understand comparatively to the other sports around campus, there is a gap between where they are to win a national title and where football is. Does your AD need to say that out loud? That's maybe the debate.
Yeah, a lot of times you see athletic directors just trying in interviews to point out where they see the problems of college athletics are located and what they are. And the disparity between some operating budgets is a thing that they'll point to, even in the same league. And I think that's what he's doing more than anything. It's just, I don't know. Who is it that he's communicating to, right? Is he communicating just to the people inside the touchdown club? Is it to college football fans overall? Is it to Arkansas fans specifically? Because I do know, and I don't think they're watching this or anything. They might see clips on social media, but that's nothing that the current team wants to see or needs to see or hear, because they're the guys that are the first iteration of the new model of college football at Arkansas. And if they came here, they came here to compete, and they came here to win. Now, they didn't this past Saturday. It doesn't mean they won't in the future. But nobody in that locker room wants or needs to see that.
Yep, and I think that's the point, is if you're the team right now, your AD just coming out and saying, we're not set up to win a national championship, how does that make you feel? How do you then proceed and feel inspired? Because you're already coming off that loss that was heartbreaking the way that it ended for Arkansas offensively. And then you're basically being told, well, we're not set up to win a national title. Like, what are you playing for? And maybe that's the big question. And I'm not saying that Hunter Yurachek needs to be the guy to inspire the troops and they need outside people. But, that's a guy inside your locker room who should be saying, we have talent, and we know that we can at least compete for the SEC right now, and we're going to do that and then see what comes next. And maybe that's the way that you phrase it, but it is really hard as an athlete to hear that come out on Monday.
Well, it's nothing that it's nothing that he can necessarily, hide from or say, look, I mean, you misquoted me. It's right out there for everybody to read and see. And hey, the other aspect of this too is that there's, I think in everybody's mind that's listening, a truth to it. It's just, do you want your leader to present a goal that might feel unreachable, or do you want him to be realistic about this situation? Let's point to Clark Lee at Vanderbilt, the head coach. Everybody laughed at him 2 years ago at Media Days when he says it wasn't that we're going to win a national title, but he wants to turn Vanderbilt into the best football program in the country. Vanderbilt is not the best football program in the country. They're not a national title team yet. I don't think they are this year, but like setting that bar and then everybody joining, and that coach set that bar. I mean, that means something, Alyssa, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that if you look at what Clark Lee is able to do with Vanderbilt, with the wins that they were able to have last year against Alabama, the way that they went to South Carolina and won that game on Saturday, I think that what Clark Lee is showing is that we have the capability of winning big games at Vanderbilt because of the mentality I'm putting in place. And that's the difference between speaking something into fruition because of a belief and then saying, oh, well, we just don't have the resources, so we're just going to currently do the best we can. It might be the same thing, but you're saying it two completely different ways, and one is inspiring and one is not.
Is there enough money in this state for Arkansas to be a national champion?
That's a legitimate question.
I mean, there's a group
Yeah,
out of Arkansas. Okay, go ahead.
Well, no, I think that's a great question, Matt, because I think what it is I don't see how this state doesn't have as much money as the state of Alabama does, but Alabama people are going to contribute to that NIL and to the foundation. I think it's a mentality, and we've talked about it before, and it is not a secret that in Arkansas, sometimes fans have the expectation, whatever it may be, that the Walmarts, the Waltons, the Tysons, the Hunts, the Walkers, those are the people who are giving the money, so I don't have to. But that's a really bad perception to have because that's not necessarily the case in terms of being able to get to a number where you can compete and you can have enough money to bring in athletes. Like, look at Ole Miss. Don't sit here and tell me that the state of Mississippi's got more money than the state of Arkansas does, yet Mississippi and Ole Miss and their NIL budget bigger than Arkansas. It has to be a mentality in the fan base to support a program. That mentality is not there right now. I don't think I'm saying anything people don't know.
Alyssa, we're right up against the break, so we'll leave it there. Definitely need to touch more on Varsity Vibe next week because it's right in the middle of the high school football season. So let's do that next week, okay?
That sounds great, guys. Thanks so much.
You got it. It's Alyssa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast. She's with us every Tuesday on Halftime. Just a quick answer on a text on the Lewis Automotive text line out of the 501. We've had a couple folks text in saying, well, you got to get Walmart on the field. You got to get Walmart on the stands. Walmart's on the field. So is Tyson. Walmart's also in the stands. Just don't have the stadium named after them. They do pay, I think it's $5 million a year to put that logo on the field. And then there's the big Walmart, Sun logo that's up there in one of the stands in the end zone. So they've already done that. It's just not called Walmart Razorback Stadium, at least not yet. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Wrapping up hour number 1 right after this break.
The magic word's rock and roll, man.
This is Halftime.
At Road Chevrolet in Van Buren, we know Arkansas drivers. Whether it's trucks for back roads, SUV for family life, or cars for Main Street, we've got you covered. Stop by today to check out our great selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Every Chevy here is backed by Rhodes, your hometown.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Fence. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Man, this takes me back to the 2000s.
All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Say that something.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Here's a good idea out of the text line to raise money for Arkansas to pay football players. It's right out of the text line. 50-cent sales tax. Just pass it statewide. That'd be pretty easy. That'd be really easy. Just get all the voters to say, yeah, we'll pony up, half a cent? Half a cent for every $100 spent, or every dollar cent, that will go directly into the pockets of Arkansas football players. At least you can make your choice if you want to be in the Razorback raffle or donate to Arkansas Edge or spend any money on anything that's got a Razorback on it. Yeah, just make it involuntary. Well, voluntary that you can vote for it. There's something Alyssa said there, and a couple of other listeners might have texted in. And, anytime that it's not just Hunter, but Sam says this sometimes, is, looking for complaining that Arkansas doesn't have the funds as everybody else, or a lot of the other schools, the upper half of the SEC, I guess, is that they feel like that is coming with your hand out. Again, when the hand's all ways out anyway, and I think some fans feel like it's put on them for Arkansas not competing to win a national title in football. And so, I mean, you end up with, it's not a back and forth. It's the average Joe and the average Jane that might give, who knows, $100 a month or whatever. Some people are pointing to the billionaires, the ones that have to do this. And the little person can only give so much, and it won't make that much of a difference. And I think Hunter points out to that. I don't know if they expect that a state like Arkansas that's so small, rural, and poorer in so many ways, in so many places, could actually support that too. I think sometimes they get to put it on themselves, and the idea of the naming rights of the football stadium haven't been sold yet. That would be money that would go directly to the athletic department, and so some of it, a lot of it, maybe all of it, would filter right into the football team. They haven't sold that. And Hunter was talking about, well, we wanted to get out of the way of the university's overall campaign, capital campaign, in which they're trying to raise $200 million, and we'd be going at the same people. That right there, and I don't know what you get for naming rights, but that right there, if you're pointing to the seating change in Bud Walton Arena to bring in an extra $10 million, $6 million more than was expected, couldn't you get quite a lot for selling the naming rights to the biggest building on campus? I think that would be first thing. That would be the first thing I'd think of.
I think there's plenty of money in this state. Stevens, who's that golfer? I guess if Clay was here, there's a guy that he has a Stevens thing on his shirt. I mean, that's a lot of money to sponsor a golfer.
That's right there as well. And here's the thing that doesn't work.
Maybe get a legacy. Maybe get the Lindsey kid that goes to Minnesota and starting quarterback there. Maybe that's the way to get your legacy guy that's actually can play. Maybe get some of those that could come up here. Maybe that helps a little bit.
Guy says get rid of NIL. No, you can't get rid of NIL. It's here to stay, and the only way that you can get rid of NIL is to get rid of your sports on campus and just be a university without athletics. Hour number 2 is coming up. You can join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. This is a game changer for the Van Alma community. Sharp Equipment is now open at 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren. No matter what sector of heavy equipment you're in, you'll leave Sharp Equipment with new ideas, new relationships, and new opportunities to grow your business. Sharp Equipment is locally owned and operated, so whether you're needing to stock up on filters, order replacements, or renting equipment for the next big job, this is the perfect place to shop locally. Stop in at Sharp Equipment, now located at 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren, or give them a call at 479-649-0500 to see how Sharp Equipment can help you move more than just the world. They help you move forward.
At Arvest Bank, we believe small businesses are the backbone of communities. Whether you're just getting your business off the ground, planning for future growth, or managing the day-to-day, we want you to thrive. That's why we help businesses of all kinds find their strength. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
Hey, it's Desmond Howard. You want to win the weekend? It all starts with the tailgate. And for me, that means Kingsford Charcoal.
They've been bringing the flavor, the smoke, and the heat since 1920. No wonder they're still the gold standard of grilling. So fire it up, feed your crew, and let the smoke do the talking. Kingsford, the king of the tailgate. Get it today at the Home Depot. Outdoers get more done.
The Razorback Raffle is back.
This raffle is a new and exciting way to support Razorback athletics, whether you're inside Razorback Stadium or calling the Hogs anywhere in the great state of Arkansas. Our inaugural raffle jackpots grew to nearly $500,000 last spring. Now you can be our next big winner, even if you're not in the stadium. Get your raffle ticket purchased to have a chance to win big right now at RazorbackRaffle.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine with a chance of an isolated shower or rubble of thunder today. A high this afternoon will be into the low 90s. Tonight, an outside chance of a shower or storm early. An overnight low will drop down mid to upper 60s. Wednesday, sunshine, isolated showers to storms in the mix. A high into the low 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'd like to take an opportunity. Woo! Go blow the whistle.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well,
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
There ain't but one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Man, you know nothing gets stuck in your teeth quite like blueberries. Spinach does that a little bit too. It's hour number 2 of halftime. Just ate some blueberries during the commercial break. It's a good thing I've got these toothpicks here because like every single crevice has the blueberry skin stuck in there. Probably need the same thing when we go to Allen's Grocery on Thursday, Matt, because they're going to be selling. By the way, Matt Jones and I are doing halftime live at Allen's Grocery Thursday in Yellville Summit, right there at the four-way stop sign on Highway 14 North, where it meets with 202. We were there almost exactly a year ago. Last year we celebrated 70 years and 4 generations of Allen's Grocery, so now we're adding another year onto it, 71 years, and still 4 generations of Allen's Grocery. They're going to be doing $1 Champs chicken tenders from 11 until 1 during halftime. Lots of giveaways and super deals. So, and I had chicken for dinner last night. That's probably the number one thing to get stuck in your teeth outside of blueberry skin. It was fun last year, and I wonder a couple of things about last year's show that I'd like to see occur again. Matt, we need our man Cooking with Cajun to come out there because remember he had the jambalaya going, he had his MF cornbread going, and it was delicious. And then last year, Matt was given one of the more interesting gifts that I've ever seen anybody be given, which was a shark tooth shiv that thankfully he did not use on me or anybody else. You still have it? Is it with you right now?
Yeah, it's in the it stays in the console. Anybody, we go into some of these neighborhoods, Compton, Yellville, you gotta be able to protect yourself when you're in places like that.
Well, that's where we're going to be on Thursday. So, yeah, I don't remember the guy who brought it, but he asked Matt to sign, I think it was a rookie card.
I was, one of one. It was pretty cool, too. There was some 2 little, like, 6th graders or whatever, and it was like, hey, who's your 2 favorite? I asked both of them who their favorite basketball players won. One of them was Ja Morant. This is like an 11-year-old in Yellville, and one of them's Ja Morant, and the other one said Zion Williamson. I was like, nice.
Guys have... because they have a real sense of what they're watching sometimes. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline. Charlie's with us here, so let's go to Charlie. What do you got, Tuna? What's new?
Well, if I ask an 11, I ask an 11-year-old Matt Jones who his favorite player is, who is it?
My Jalen Rose, my 11, 12-year-old favorite baseball player was Ken Griffey Jr. Like I wanted a Ken Griffey Jr. mitt. I played center field. I was a Ken Griffey Jr. guy for sure.
There you go. What about you, Phil?
Favorite ball player as a kid?
Basketball, baseball, yeah, 11-year-old
As a kid, it was Willie Stargell first, and then you know my story with Jeff King. Basketball was Larry
I have
Bird
heard that
because
one.
my aunt was a Celtics fan and season ticket holder. But then when I was able to make up my own mind, it was Allen Iverson.
Yeah, the answer.
Yeah, I mean, is it because seeing somebody that height do that the way he played? Was it the swag, or was it just a combination of everything?
It was everything. There were 2 games I got to see Iverson play live. His 1 year at Georgetown, played at Pitt at the Civic Arena, and we got floor seats. Watching Allen Iverson on the floor was incredible. It's the fastest, most twitchiest athlete I've ever seen in my life. And then his rookie year with the Sixers, I think he had a stretch of 4 games in a row with 50 points or more, and we went to the 4th of those games in Cleveland. Pittsburgh doesn't have an NBA team, so we went to Cleveland every once in a while. And, I mean, once I saw him with Georgetown, that was it. I mean, that was – dude could have played anything he wanted to play. Would have been the best base stealer of all time if he chose baseball.
I mean, this is the thing. If he would have played – he did play football too, right? I think he probably would have wound up – because he was like an option quarterback, correct?
He was Michael Vick.
Yeah. I don't think he would have stayed there, but I think he could have played for sure. He was good enough. Anyways, I was listening to Pittman yesterday talk about, I guess, some of the things we talked about yesterday, the communication and all that. Matt, do you expect them just to, one of the things that he talked about was when Ole Miss shifted or they realigned pre-snap, then Arkansas tried to adjust. My thing is, the only time I've always, I know you have your boundary corner and your field corner and all that. My question to you, Matt, is do you think that this is simple as, hey, these guys should be able to understand both? You should be able to play field corner and boundary corner, same with safeties. What do you think, will help with that, as far as simplifying, that? I know when you're playing man, you want to follow. I understand all that. But I do think that will help with some of the communication defensively, because I did think that was a big thing. Also, Sorey, I was going to ask you guys, to me, he plays better when he's not thinking and he's downhill. I don't know how you do that with him, because I know he's got to drop back every now and then. But I would just love to just let him loose and let him go play, because I do think he is a guy that can make plays. It's just I don't know if he has to think and react and then go make the play. Probably a little bit more difficult for him. So I wonder what y'all thought about that. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah, you use motion, and I know you know this, Charlie. You use motion. It's a numbers game. When you bring a guy from the right side of the field to the left side of the field, you're trying to get them to show their hand. If they're in zone, if they're in man, what are they doing? And then you'll see them look back to lane, and they'll call in another play. So you got to communicate. That's one of the big things on defense and offense. Anytime you play sports, I mean, you got to have a continual communication. What I'd say is just they got to make sure they get maybe the coaches are asking them to do too much. I don't know. Stay in your film, stay in the playbook, stay in your film study, understand the concepts. I think a lot of these players feel it's their first time they're learning how to study film. It's the first time they're really getting a scouting report. We were just talking about some high school kids, and they were like, hey, coach would just say, give me the ball and run right or left. Because there's so much better that you got to remember these kids in high school were better than everybody else. And so there is a lot of freedom. And you really see it in basketball. It's like kids are just, there's nothing you can do to stop them. And then they're understanding how to play help defense, how to understand angles, how to protect the rim without fouling. Same thing, the defense. It's hard. I think playing cornerback is one of the hardest positions in the world to play. There's not a lot of cornerbacks. I mean, you were just talking about Allen Iverson being quick, twitchy. That you got to be that way, and then you got to be tough. You got to tackle running back. I mean, you see that Lacey kid from Ole Miss, Phil. You got to see him. Who wants to tackle him for 4 quarters? That dude's a beast.
They did a good job hemming him in. It's just, in that secondary, it's an older group. I just feel like they've studied film or been asked to.
And maybe that's why coaches ask them to do more, because maybe they kind of have that instead of now you got to kind of bring it back a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that the idea that, well, these guys have been around a while, so we can have a complex defense. And there were moments in that Ole Miss game where I'm zeroed in on the line of scrimmage with my binoculars, and before the snap, you can see, and it was more linebackers, I think, that were doing this. You could see guys checking over to the line of scrimmage once, not the line of scrimmage, to the sideline once, twice, 3 times. And it just, it's not like I can look at that and tell that there may be confusion, but there's all this communication that you're talking about, but there's communication between the 11 defenders on the field at the same time, and then there's the communication from the sideline, which is what Sam is talking about, and there's too much of it. Either there's too much of it, or it's too complex, or we're changing our coverages too much. And, man, did Ole Miss take advantage of that or what? I don't think Memphis does that because it's a different sort of team that you're playing. But you know who can take advantage of all of that? Tennessee, Texas A&M. Teams that,
good, yeah.
By the way, A&M and Tennessee have the top 2 receivers in terms of yardage in FBS right now.
Auburn might be a little better this year. You know, is this the time? I mean, we get an Auburn team too. I mean, that's I don't want to look too far ahead, but man, that 4-game stretch: Tennessee, A&M, Auburn, Mississippi State. Mississippi State, we know, is better this year.
These are teams that can throw the ball against you. Now, it's funny that later on in the season, when you play Texas, who knows if they'll be able to throw the ball against you. When you play LSU, hey, Nussmeier's not slinging it like he was last year. Kelly yesterday in a press conference admitted that he's dealing with a torso injury.
Ooh.
So, and they got Southeastern Louisiana this weekend, then Ole Miss next weekend. I don't know if you play him against Southeastern.
Yeah, I mean, I'd want my guy healthy, no question about it. It just depends on one of the key things you ask the trainer. Playing, was it going to make it worse? You know, is it, how much worse is it by playing? If the answer is it's not really, it's just something you're going to deal with and you play him. And then it is, well, if we give him 7 days rest, how much of it is it going to help? Does it really help?
So it was one of my favorite things, and I forget who it was that I saw. I think it was a knee injury for somebody recently. Wasn't there a Michigan running back 2 or 3 years ago who played the last 2/3 of the season with no MCL ligament in his knee? He was like, well, you're not going to hurt it anymore. It's just going to hurt like a son of a gun until you finally get this thing fixed. So, load up on ibuprofen-filled jelly donuts or something. Football players aren't eating jelly donuts. I know you've never had a jelly donut, Matt. You've had a mini donut with a little coconut crisp on the end, but you don't eat the jelly donuts.
Little jelly, little raspberry jam in there.
You sound like you might actually like one of those things. 877-377-6963 to get with us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Got another number for you, and it's for the Fence Man. Anytime you're looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong, the Fence Man is 479-782-3936. Been serving our listening audience over 40 years. The Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, high security, and automatic gates. They do that. They also feature 18-month financing. The Fence Man, 479-782-3936, or thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work. Back in a moment with more Halftime. Stay with us.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Wanted to find someone who would embrace Arkansas and the opportunities to build on a rich tradition that includes 22 conference titles, 14 Sweet 16 appearances, 11 Elite 8 appearances, 6 Final Fours, and a 1994 NCAA championship.
The head coach of your Arkansas Razorbacks, John Calipari.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Man, this takes me back to the 2000s.
All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's, where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Victim mind just like you, we ain't out in home units with the brick wall view. I can't believe the perfect families on my column TV. Make it to the top in a revolution. I don't want to be the one. I don't want to be the one. I don't want to be the one. I'm an innocent bystander, caught in the path. Waiting at the back while the topper in the cat that stops the senses with relentless scenes of passion and delight. I count up all the options and went running for my life.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Great music coming back here, Matt. Who are we listening to on this comeback song?
I'm sorry, what?
Who are you listening to on this comeback?
So it's an Australian band, and there was this Young Modern album by Silverchair when I went to see Silverchair live 5 times in like a 3 months period a few years ago. But they covered this song, Don't Want to Be the One, by Midnight Oil.
Oh, yeah, Midnight Oil. Peter Garrett's the singer. If
like
there's
a
ever,
punk.
Well, if
Swedish
there's
punk,
ever anybody that ever looked like that he belongs in the Mad Max movies, is Peter Garrett.
And the dude the lead singer from Fear. He might belong in that movie as well.
I think he actually moved to Thunderdome. Seaburger, have you ever seen the Mad Max movies? That would be a no. He doesn't remember like things that he was talking about earlier today, but Mad Max movies may be actually worth your time. All the way up to the Charlize Theron one. Yes, that was
Tom Hardy.
Highly entertaining. 877-377-6963 to get with us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Here's Keith in Fort Smith. Keith, thank you for calling Halftime. What's going on?
Guys, good to talk to you. Hadn't called in a little bit. Wanted to just try to talk to some folks here on their lunch break as they're pouring over a turkey sandwich and wishing they had something different than Coca-Cola. I'm going to say this about the game last week. One thing we do really well, and we're doing it with Hunter's comments today. Thanks a lot, Hunter, for stirring us all up like a hornet's nest. We do it. Then we got the game on Ole Miss, and we look like we did. I'm gonna go positive, and that may be a new word for Hog fans out there. I'm gonna go positive. The positive side of the game last week, despite the loss, and I live for winning, so I'm not trying to excuse the losing, but we went up there. This is a team that whooped the tail off us last year, and we go up there and play them within 2 minutes of the fourth quarter and have an ill-advised or unforeseen fumble from a kid that we took a chance on, and I think Mr. Brown has done good for us. So I don't want to just say, woe is us. I think we're going to continue to play real well, and we've got to get some things cleaned up. This is a result of being a team that hadn't been in situations like that very much, where you've got a team at their home at night in the SEC on the ropes. We just don't have a lot of guys, even the comers and goers, who've seen an SEC environment like that, much less one still on our team playing them deep in the fourth quarter could win. So I think we got a good season coming up. I think that we're going to be reality. We're not talking about we're going to go do something crazy, but I also think Taylon Green is our quarterback. Stay healthy, Taylon. I think that we can go in there and play well, and we've got a good offensive line. I'm concerned about the defensive line depth, but I just want to encourage everybody, you wait all year for this. If you're a football fan, true and true, don't go down there and feel like oh crud, we lost against Ole Miss at their place at night. They're the 18th team ranked, I believe, and now the season's over. Let's just go ahead and quit. No, that we got to have better idea and better focus on that than that focus. The other thing I was going to say real quick, if I can, Hunter, let me tell you something. You've been telling us that commentary. That's like when my daddy, I'd come home from a bad spelling test grade, and I'd get a C-, and then the next one I might get a B-. Well, he's still bringing up C-. Hunter, we get it, brother. You done run this. We don't have money in the ground. I can't squeeze blood from a turnip. Let's just get this football season in. How about a little message of, hey, we got a good season ahead of us. Let's keep working. Yeah, we need a little bit more money, but we're going to do the best we can with what we got. I don't think he needs to keep telling the touchdown club, hey, y'all aren't giving enough. Those are the people you're talking to. The people you're talking to are paid to get them seats. I don't know of any Arkansas person who can spend $5 a day, even $5 a day, on donations, and they don't know where the money goes. So let's be positive. Let's win against Memphis this week. Let's beat the dog out of Notre Dame. And Hunter, stop with that, brother. We already heard it 1,000 times. Let's have some goodwill and some go Hogs. Hey, Pig Suey, y'all have a great day.
Appreciate the phone call, Keith. Thank you very much. I want to go.
Go
ahead, Matt. Yeah.
If you had 100 people give $5 a day for a single year, that'd be $182,000. So if you had 100 people give $5 a day for years, $5 times 365 times 100, 182,500. So that would be 100 people. That wouldn't even get you the guy's socks. Like you couldn't even buy their cleats and their helmets for if we had 100 people give them $5. So, but that's a start, right? Like if you're looking at it like that, that's really not. I mean, that doesn't even get you a. Maybe you could get the third string quarterback. I don't know.
I play this game every time there's the Razorback raffle with myself. I look at the final number and think, well, what do you get for this? It was like $250,000 jackpot, and you split it evenly. The school gets $125,000, and the winner gets $125,000. I don't know what the winner, the fan's going to do with that. What is the Razorback athletic department doing with that $125,000? What does that get you? Get you a quarterback for a game? Maybe. There's another revenue stream, though. That's the thing. And that's what he was talking about yesterday, too. And, these things go together. I don't mind him bringing it up because I think more than anything, Hunter was just reacting to a question. And he was earlier in his speech, I guess you'd say it was, you're detailing this year's team and the whole financial situation about the school from last year. And I just have a sense he's just sort of laying it out because he was asked about it. But you also know these things are going to come up. When you're bringing up, money and how we can compete and that third way 10 minutes before, well, people are going to ask you to maybe talk about that in a little bit more detail, and he did. But I don't think he went there to the Little Rock Touchdown Club to make some grandiose statement or announcement that Arkansas football is not set up to compete for a national championship. Wyatt in Coal Hill, thank you for calling and holding. What's up, Wyatt?
Hey, it's your Wyatt, Phil.
Yeah, got you. Loud and clear, Wyatt. Go for it.
I live in Coal Hill, Arkansas. I mean, my concern is, guys, is that guy was on there a while ago. He has to remember the quarterback did what he did last year is not at Ole Miss, okay? He's in the NFL, and that one guy that took Simmons' place, I think you said, threw for 350 yards. My worry is, guys, if we can't, I don't think we can win very many SEC games trying to outscore people if our defense can't stop the other team. That's a big.
Well, we did stop them, though. If you think about it, and I see what you're saying, but we stopped them the very first possession coming out of the second half. We got a stop, and then when we needed a stop in the fourth quarter, I know they dropped a pass there, but our pressure made them drop it. We got the ball back 1st and 10, 4 minutes to go. Were we down 5-6 points?
Yeah. Matt, here's my concern: is I thought we should have went for that field goal instead of. Or not the field goal, went for it on 4th and 2. Because he misses that field goal, and Ole Miss comes right down the field on us, Matt, and gets the touchdown.
Yeah, it was a short field. That was a bummer.
You know what that tells me too, Wyatt? It's I don't think like there's an offensive philosophy that Sam operates under. I think because he's changed his approach on 4th down at times. He's even gotten into this, I think, a week or two ago. When he first started, he was a little more cautious about things, would play field position, trust the kicker. And in some cases, you had kickers that you wanted to trust. I don't think that was the case last year. And then he got into a little bit more of the analytics, and it didn't work out so well. So now he's back to gut instinct. And you're facing a coach in Lane Kiffin who, given that situation, the same drive, their first drive of the game, he'd have gone for it because that's his DNA. And I don't really know when it comes to go for it or not, what is in Sam's DNA.
And I think when you're inside the 5-yard line, Phil, and you go for it, then they're backed up 90 yards. So you're a little more aggressive to go for it. When you're kicking a 51-yard field goal, the thing is when you miss it, or if you go for it on 4th down and miss it, short field for your opponent.
Yeah, guys, do we need to try to find another kicker? That guy missed two field goals.
No. No, not yet. I think the dude's extremely talented. I'm not going to just like 17 fumbled the ball. I think that dude's extreme. I think he's one of our best receivers. I think that field goal kicker is going to make some kicks for us. I wouldn't close the door on him just yet.
He certainly looks, Wyatt, like he's got a big leg. I'd wait and see what happens in the next couple of weeks before wondering if you got to open up the job one more time.
AT&T Stadium, and Wilcox Wheels coming back on A&M, and Taylor Green gets hit and fumbles the ball.
Oh.
You got the same. You got the same result right here at Ole Miss.
Well, yeah. Well, wasn't that also was that a missed kick? Was that a missed field goal by Cam Little? You remember? See, I mean, that goes to the heart of what some people feel about Arkansas football and the curse. You remember that? It was 2 years ago. Cam misses the field.
Or something,
he misses the field goal. The ball goes over the upright. It went over the upright. And then in the NFL, that would have been a field goal. In college, it was not a field goal.
Well, they had the NFL goalpost too. They didn't have the college goalpost. That would have been 3 points.
64-yard field goal in that game to tie that game and finally win that game.
Yep. Sooner or later, they're going to make one that actually wins the game, Wyatt. It'll happen at some point this year. Starzik will bounce back from it, but I think
so.
He's got the leg. That's the thing.
I like.
We'll find out about his ability to, show to be resilient. Basically, this Saturday against Memphis. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. Everybody hungry for a turkey sandwich and a Coke after when Matt, I think Matt's going to make a turkey sandwich right now. You can get over to the Clay Maxey Auto Group, not for a turkey sandwich, but for a promise that they'll provide a level of service that maximizes your drive at every step in your car ownership experience. You'll find the Clay Maxey Auto Group in Harrison, Mountain Home, Clinton, or Berryville, and online at claymaxeyautogroup.com. They feature personalized car buying experience, competitive, transparent pricing. They have reliable, consistent repairs from outstanding technicians who've been factory trained, always going beyond the sale, ensuring a seamless, enjoyable, and tailored experience that fits your vehicle needs. They ask for the opportunity to maximize your drive today at the Clay Maxey Auto Group. Quick break. Back in a moment. This is Halftime.
Back in 82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin a quarter mile.
This is Halftime.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text FORCE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text FORCE to 42424. That's FORCE to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent
This
any disease.
is Halftime.
All right, let's break someone's clavicle on 3. 1, 2, 3. Break someone's clavicle. Hit the field. Let's go. Move it. Move it.
Do you love cooking and being a part of a great team? Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and I was talking to Linda Newmeyer the other day. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, Newmeyer's Rib Room, and Newmeyer's Whippoorwill are hiring kitchen staff. Stop by any of the 3 restaurants in downtown Fort Smith. I used to work at a pizza place back in the day. Maybe I give it a shot. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the Whippoorwill, and Rib Room. Apply today and join the Newmeyer family.
You're hired. Come back tomorrow at noon for training.
Celebrate autumn in the natural state with Crabtree RV Center in Elma. From October 26th to the 29th, Crabtree RV will be having their big fall sale complete with great door prices. Bring the little ones on Saturday, October 28th for our community trunk or treat. There will be candy, games, bouncy houses, and more. Whether it's our big fall sale or trunk or treating, you'll not want to miss these October events at Crabtree RV Center in Elma.
Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Are you an electrician that's looking for a smaller, non-corporate job? Well, I'm here in studio with Sloan Walker of Sloan Electric, starting 40, 45 hours a week, anywhere from $20 to $28 an hour, depending on the experience.
Yeah, that's all correct. We offer competitive pay. We have 6 paid major holidays. I'm working on some other benefits to go with those for my current employees and future employees. Best way to get in contact with me is just give me a phone call or text at 479-461-4302. Sloan Electric. We can power up together.
Archery deer season is getting closer, and Infinity Sports and Outdoors has all your archery needs and more. Infinity Sports has top compound bows and crossbows, all tuned and ready to shoot. Expert bow techs with years of experience are on site and ready to get you dialed in to hunt. Need gear? Infinity Sports and Outdoors has tree stands, saddles, plus blinds from Banks Outdoors. Find all your hunting needs now at Infinity Sports and Outdoors, 3700 Highway 71 North in Alma.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
They paved paradise, put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They took all the trees, put them in a tree museum. And they charge the people $1.50 just to see 'em. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Into the second half here of halftime, 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline. You know, there was something else I wanted to hit on other than this speech that Hunter Yurachek gave, or the talk that Hunter Yurachek gave to people at the Little Rock Touchdown Club the other day. Oh, the Phillies, they clinched the division, Matt. We finally have our first division winner in
I thought
Major
that
League
was going to
Baseball.
be the first question you were going to ask Alyssa about her Dodgers.
Yeah, they lost to the Phillies yesterday. Dodgers, I think. Look, you make the tournament, you get
They're
in,
fine.
you'll be okay.
Kershaw make the playoff roster?
Good question.
Yeah,
very good question. I wonder if Ohtani's at the place where he can actually be a starting pitcher in the postseason. Anyway, yeah, I think we'll probably do more Major League talk once you get into the playoffs because people are up in arms about this. About football right now. You know, and it would have been after a loss to Ole Miss, but, you know, Hunter coming out and you know, I think saying some of the, again, it's the loud stuff out loud, just kind of riles some people up. I did want to play this one. I don't think I'd played this one earlier, and this, you know, we get a lot of people that have ideas as to how you can raise money for Arkansas athletics. We even had somebody a moment ago say, well, what about the lottery, the Arkansas lottery? You know, it's a scholarship lottery. And that lottery funds scholarships that go to every university and college in the state of Arkansas. It's not just the Razorbacks. It's not just the University of Arkansas. And it has nothing to do with athletics. Somebody tweeted over and said, well, what about giving 50% of the lottery to Arkansas athletics and the rest to the university? But, I mean, what about the rest of the schools? What about all the other schools that this lottery is designed to help? And it was not designed to help Arkansas football. So we end up twisting ourselves. Like, you know, somebody texted in, set up a state tax Yeah, I'm sure these are not realistic ways to do this. But what is a realistic way to raise more revenue, to pay football players so that you might be in a place where you feel you are competing for a national championship?
To win a national championship in men's basketball moving forward. We know we're set up to win a national championship in baseball moving forward, and I think we're set up in several other sports to win a national championship. Football, where we are right now, we're not set up to win a national championship. I'll just be brutally honest with that.
Not set up. And it's equating money to wins. It doesn't always work that way. The richest team in the NFL is the Dallas Cowboys. We have a lot of Cowboys fans that are listening right now. Has that gotten you to the point where you have what it takes to win even the NFC East, much less the conference, and then win a Super Bowl? No. In fact, as the revenues have gotten larger and larger with the Dallas Cowboys, and the value of that franchise has increased and increased, they've actually gotten worse on the football field. So these things do not always equate each other. And like, truthfully, I thought my understanding of what Arkansas football can be, and I think some of it has to do with finding generational athletes within the state of Arkansas that desire to be a Razorback. And whatever it is you got to do to convince them, if they need a little convincing, well, you got to go out and figure that out. And then there's being a Moneyball program, because this is where you are right now. It's not finding an excuse. And people will text into us sometimes and accuse radio hosts of making excuses for a team. And there are major differences between excuses and reasons. Reasons for why you lost a football game or why your team is not good. When you're proclaiming that we don't have what it takes financially to win a national championship, that comes across as an excuse. I see other sports where somebody comes out of nowhere. Heck, it even happens in football right now, Matt. Indiana last year. I don't know if it's
SMU as well.
SMU too. This happens in this sport. To find the right coach, lightning in a bottle.
TCU a couple years ago.
But they haven't stayed at that level. And that's the thing moving forward about Indiana and about SMU and about Arizona State is, can you stay at that level? Is this lightning in a bottle? Is it a flash in a pan? Or is this a recipe that you can actually make for dinner every single week? And Arkansas hasn't found that lightning in a bottle right now. I mean, heck, you haven't found lightning in a bottle in a long, long time. But where's the idea of taking players and making them better to where maybe you are competing for a national title if you find the right person that's the actual lightning in the bottle too? You can put these people on the same roster. The chemistry can lead to some pretty special things. Or maybe I'm being naive about this, Matt, and maybe money does equal championships.
You gotta, if there's a Division I player that can play in the state of Arkansas, you got to keep him. I think that's part of it. It starts at the grassroots, at the very foundation. I don't think you can just go spend money and have it be a Band-Aid and think you're going to be sustainable. It has to be a culture. It kind of has to be like a revolution, like a movement. If Arkansas wants to compete at that level, they have to be all in. You're not going to do it with a half measure. That's not going to be the answer.
Here's Brent and Searcy on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Hi, Brent. How are you?
I'm great, Phil. How about you and Matt?
Yo. Good, thank you.
But I am mad as a hornet.
A Bryant Hornet?
No, I said I'm mad as a hornet.
Oh, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Brent.
I'm mad. Matt and Phil, I'm appalled every time our athletic director gets a chance to talk to the Little Rock Touchdown Club or anybody. He does everything he can to denigrate, to just not respect our fan base. And he has got to go. I mean, we know we're not national championship contenders, but we don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? We don't want to hear that we can't compete. That just makes me Furious. And he's got to go today.
Do you think a player?
Charles Rob.
Do you think that hurts recruiting? What he said. Do you think it helps in baseball, basketball, and then in football? Do you think when players hear that they're like, "Well, we want to go somewhere else"?
Oh, it hurts. It hurts in football, no question. John Calipari goes out and raises it, gets his NIL some way.
I do
Dave
think,
Van
Brent,
Horn
that
goes
that's
out
the
and
kind
gets
of
his-
clip. I think that's the kind of clip that other coaches in the SEC can negatively recruit with. I mean, that's right there on tape for him.
No question, Phil. No question. But he's got to go. I hate to say that. He's got to go. He's just making it easy for somebody to fire him. And if anybody's listening on the board of trustees, you got to get this done. You got to get this done. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I can sense your frustration there, Brent. Yeah, I mean, no, fan bases do not want to hear this. You don't want to be told in the middle of a season that you're about to undergo a rebuilding plan. Heck, why are St. Louis Cardinals fans staying away from Busch Stadium? Because they basically have been told all year that we're building for next season, and they weren't interested in that. I mean, I'm part of a fan base that has been rebuilding probably 12 times in the last 30 years in baseball. You don't want to hear these things. You don't want to hear, yeah, we're tanking for whomever, tank for Tua. Yeah, we're worried about next season. Or we're worried about the future, not this season. People don't want to hear that. The guys in the locker room don't want to hear that too. The problem of this is that Hunter is in his mind, he is speaking from a place of truth. And anybody that's listening right now also knows that if you are talking about being a Moneyball program, if you are talking about you got to find lightning in a bottle, well, then you're competing at a disadvantage on an annual basis. And you are. Arkansas does compete from a disadvantage every single year. But have they competed from a disadvantage every year anyway? Just being from a small state, from a rural state that has to recruit, in the contiguous states, and we'll always have a smaller alumni base. We'll always have a smaller enrollment than most of, if not all, the universities that you're playing against in this conference. So I mean, there's truth on both sides of this. The only thing is that nobody wants to hear that you can't win the ultimate prize when you play in the league, that the ultimate prize gets raised more than any other league. If you're a commissioner or if you're an AD for like a group of 5 school, they'd be like, well, you know what? We can't compete for a national championship. Everybody in the stands out there is listening. It's like, yeah, no kidding, because the deck is stacked against you based upon the way that the whole sport is structured. What Hunter's talking about is competing against the other teams in the SEC, the upper half of it, the upper echelon that has all these resources, but then at the end of it is saying, but we can compete in the SEC. And I just feel if you can compete in this league, well, then you can compete in the nation. And here's the other aspect, too. I don't know if Notre Dame is really national championship caliber this year compared to last season. Ole Miss may be. We find out against a team that went to the playoff in 2 weeks, that played for the national championship. And then after that, you get Tennessee, who looks like
another
contender
playoff team last year,
this year right now. Then you get A&M. They look like a contender right now, too. So all of that stuff, you're going to find all that stuff out in less than a month, at least about this year. And then we'll see if there are changes in the near future. 877-377-6963 to get with us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Well, whenever the Hogs play and you're over at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith and you are wearing your Razorback gear, you get half-price apps and half-price taps all during the game. That's every single Razorback football game all season long at Joe's Grill and Cantina. And while you're there, check out the 10-layer dip, Chimmy Paquito's Ultimate Sampler, and Mexican Pizza. That's game day, half-price apps and taps with your hog gear during the Razorback game at Joe's Grill and Cantina at South 74th Street across from Harps, online at joesfortsmith.com. We'll wrap up hour number 2 of Halftime right after this break.
University of Arkansas is beautiful. It's nice, man. You got a lot of beautiful women up there, and just everything's going on.
This is Halftime.
Budweiser, the American lager.
time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Back to school means back on your feet, and True Grit Running Company has you covered. Whether you're a student, teacher, nurse, or retail warrior, our footwear keeps you moving in comfort and style. Shop top brands and discover new ones, plus the best socks, insoles, and gear that'll keep you going strong all year long. This season, step into success at True Grit Running Company, where comfort meets grit. Located on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Run in today before the bell rings. True Grit Running Company, fueled by passion, built for you.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
90 years. That's how long the Hug family has been a part of this town. Through dust bowls, downturns, and drive-thrus, we've been right here, selling trucks to grandfathers and now their grandkids. Because it isn't just about cars, it's about connection. We're proud to still be your local GM dealership after all these years. Hug Chevrolet GMC, since the beginning, still right here.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
It's always self-protection where the mean left. Cold cup. It's mean self, pretty left.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
So let's all raise our hands. If you're driving down I-40 and the speed limit's 55, but you know there's not going to be a trooper out that day, how many are going 65? Right? That's what's happening in college athletics right now.
Okay, first, how many of you are going 85? All right, now more.
And so you have to decide as an athletic director, are you going to get out in this lane that you know you're not supposed to be in and operate without the highest level of integrity, or do you want to stay in these two lanes? And that's where the rub is coming right now in college athletics. Until we get our enforcement agency up and running, you're going to continue to have schools operating in that third lane, and that's a bad place to be, in my opinion. It's bad for college athletics. And I don't want to operate there, but I think to be competitive, we may have to figure out what that third lane looks like for the University of Arkansas.
It sounds a little bit and I say this sometimes, you don't have to like the world that you live in, but you have to accept that it's the world that you live in. And Hunter may be stuck in between those two things. You know, what is the world of college athletics? You can spend whatever the hell you want on players. You can spend whatever you want, and it's going to be cleared. So that's the world you live in. It's not the world that Arkansas athletics is living in, however. And you can see, I mean, I think people get into college athletics to be administrators partially sometimes, not they don't do this because they believe in the rules, but they do believe in the rules. And there are people that work there that are actually supposed to keep them adhering to those rules. But we know full well, hey, there was a big fight between the Michigan football program, Matt, and the compliance department, the University of Michigan. I mean, they viewed each other as adversaries, as Michigan was cheating in more ways than one. And what did they end up doing? Winning a national championship. Maybe some of that cheating had a little bit to do with it. So it may be time to live in the world that college athletics is, because it sounds like what he's saying is if you don't, you're going to get passed by everybody. And by the way, how many out there, first of all, our speed limit isn't 55 on the highway any longer. Do you any go more than just 10 miles an hour faster? I know the police might be listening, Matt, so shh, be quiet.
Oh, I don't, you've driven, I think you've been in a car when I've drove. Anybody,
you're very safe.
I drive the speed limit. Every time I go, I drive the speed limit.
Well, so you was just singling out the sports. You can compete for a baseball national championship. Why? Well, you got a world-class coaching staff, for one. You got one of the best stadiums in the country and a track record that will attract players, good players that want to get better while they're here. And I think financially they're set up in a way that competes very well with the rest of the SEC. Why are you set up to win a national championship in basketball? It's the very same reasons. The coach is a world-class coach, Hall of Famer, already has a national title. And you've got a benefactor who's interested specifically in the success of the basketball team. All right, so Hunter says you're not set up to win a national title for football. Does that have to do with the coach? Or does that have to do specifically with the money and the lack of a benefactor that's ready to put however much money it takes to spend on players that I guess are at that level?
2015 coaching staff, Alabama football. Head coach Nick Saban, offensive coordinator Lane Kiffin, defensive coordinator Kirby Smart, offensive line coach Mario Cristobal, wide receiver coach Billy Napier, D-back coach Mel Tucker. Your GA was Dan Lanning. That's the staff that won us. They won a national championship in 2015. That's a heck of a staff.
That's an all-time staff. Derrick Henry running the ball too, almost 400 times. You think they outspent other teams too?
Well, they had the best running back in the world.
Might have helped.
That helps. Yeah.
We move into hour number 3, 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline, and back right after this.
At the toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality, price, and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco.
For hard work and the great outdoors.
If it rumbles, roars, or needs a little more power, take it to Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports in Clarksville.
From muffler and catalytic converter repair to full custom exhaust systems, they've got you covered. Need welding or mobile welding along with equipment repair? They do that too. Custom fabrication done right. Located at 215 East Taylor Road. For performance, precision, and power. It's Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports. Call today at 479-214-2729 or stop by today.
It's football season, and that means tailgate parties and gathering with friends. River Point Wine and Spirits has all your favorite party supplies. You'll love our clean, organized store full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine with a chance of an isolated shower or rubble of thunder today. A high this afternoon will be into the low 90s. Tonight, an outside chance of a shower or storm early. An overnight low will drop down mid to upper 60s. Wednesday, sunshine, isolated showers and storms in the mix. A high into the low 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
But they were one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Back on halftime, 101 in the afternoon. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, 15 minutes from now. Now's the time to get in if you want, or wait until the bottom of the hour. 877-377-6963. Watched a couple of, I didn't watch the entire second game last night. I did watch a good chunk of the Falcons and it wasn't the Falcons, it was the Bucks and the Texans. Game one, 2 games last night.
The Vikings and the Texans, or was it the Bucks and the Texans?
Bucks and Texans,
Yeah.
yeah. Baker Mayfield's fun to watch. I really do enjoy watching him play quarterback. 4th down and 2, and they pressure him, and he just barely finds a way to squeak up the middle. It was funny, too, because Will Anderson drags him down from behind, but he got the 2 yards. And Anderson, I don't know if he thought he stopped Mayfield, because he brings him down and gets up and points to the sky, almost like doing a sack dance. I guess he thought he got the ball back, and that might have, I don't think it would have ended the game. But Mayfield goes up to him and is like, guess what? 1st down. Points in the other direction, and then leads to a go-ahead touchdown. The Browns would probably like to have him back. Maybe the Panthers would like to have him back too. Some of these quarterbacks that were getting hurt in the NFL. Burrow's out 3 months with what is, I guess, called a form of turf toe.
Tom Brady?
Did I say Brady or Burrow?
No. Do you call Tom Brady if you're a Cincinnati Bengals and you're 2-0? Like I'm telling you, Phil, you have those two, Chase and Higgins. I don't know that's as good as it gets as far as two receivers to throw to.
Well, he's probably going to have to divest himself of his ownership in the Raiders in order to go play for somebody.
Chad Powers, maybe we call him back. Yeah.
So did you see? So Brady was in the coach's room, in the coach's box for the Raiders last night. He's got a headset on. He's taking notes and everything, and even the broadcasters. I think that was Fowler and Louis Riddick and Dan Orlovsky are talking. Chip Kelly, who's now the OC for the Raiders, has 2 meetings a week with Brady in which they go over the game plan and get some advice from him. Keep in mind, this is the number 1 color commentator on Fox for the NFL, and they're letting him in on production meetings now, so he's learning about all these other teams and things that they're going to try to do while he's also in the coach's box during games when the Raiders are playing. But the NFL put a statement out today, quote, he's prohibited from going to a team facility for practices or production meetings, unquote, but he's also allowed to sit in the coach's booth, according to the league. No policies that prohibit an owner from sitting in the coach's booth or wearing a headset during the game, unquote. All right, well, how many owners are also broadcasters? Making it up as they go along, Matt.
And former players that just got done playing. That was the one that your boy Pat, Jameis Winston is who they said to call. He's a third string in with the Giants.
877-377-6963. Jaden Daniels out with a knee injury. J.J. McCarthy out for 2 to 4 weeks with an ankle sprain. It's tough to stay healthy in the NFL. Scott in Bentonville is on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Good afternoon, Scott. What's up?
Yes, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I tend to agree with what you were insinuating about what Mr. Yuricek said, I guess it was yesterday, regarding the third lane. He seemed to have an ethical issue with, what teams are doing, and I assume what they're doing that he disagrees with is they're taking the money they have and, as you said, paying players whatever they want to. And, until there is an enforcement agency, should they decide to address that, I don't see how that's an ethical issue or even an issue of legality. They're doing what the laws, which there are very few that address NIL, currently allow. And of course, his issue is they have the money to do that. He doesn't.
You remember when this House settlement was finalized? It wasn't actually finalized because the College Sports Commission, that clearinghouse by Deloitte & Touche, was supposed to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to NIL deals, and initially, if it looked like a no-show job, if it was a company that the only reason why the company exists, like the Come to the SIP, which Mississippi does, is to pay players to play football or whatever sport, then you're not going to get cleared, and they got taken back to court, I don't think it was court, it was arbitration, and they had to give that up. So that was the thing that was supposed to keep everything on the up and up. Is that if you have a company where you actually sell a product or you deliver a service of some sort and it doesn't have anything to do with actually paying players to play football, well then it's okay. So that's when Sam was talking about we're going to get to the place where we're all in an even playing field. We've got our $20.5 million and nobody will ever spend more than that because of this clearinghouse. It turns out that was a naive way to look at it because the clearinghouse has no teeth whatsoever and teams can spend what they want to a point. It's like, how many of these deals have not been approved? I don't know the number, but it's not a lot of them. Most of this is getting approved. It's because, and you're right, Scott, you say, well, what are the rules? What's legal and what's illegal? Well, just about everything's legal right now.
It's pay for play. That's exactly what college athletics is right now. One other comment, and I'll let somebody else talk. But you were talking about ways people have suggested that Arkansas make up the gap in NIL or in pay for play. I thought Tennessee, the University of Tennessee, and maybe a couple other schools addressed their issue early on in the NIL era by adding a flat fee to every athletic ticket sold, and that fee was designated as athlete compensation. And if Arkansas did that, Arkansas's tickets are competitive, ticket prices are competitive, but they're not overly expensive compared to some of the other schools. If they added a $10 athletic compensation fee to, say, every football ticket sold, that would probably generate $5 million a year.
Scott, what you're talking about are new ideas to open up revenue streams from schools like Tennessee and Ole Miss, two schools who've addressed the NIL era quite well, who had history of cheating when all this was under the table 10 years ago. So they're like, oh my gosh, we can do this now. Let's get the McDonald's. We don't even need the McDonald's bags anymore. We just put a roll of cash in the kid's hand.
Well, what you do is you charge people a certain amount of money to buy Razorback currency, Razorback coins. It's not Bitcoin, but it's hog bucks or whatever you want to call it. And so for however much cash money you put in, you get a certain amount of money back that you spend at the concession stand, that you spend on tickets, that you spend. But it's only Arkansas currency for that. And then that way they're able to get the stuff at a better price. When you get that money, it's like back in the 30s when you worked at a steel factory and they would pay you with coins that you could only use at their office, their shop, their grocery store. Same concept that you could do with the Arkansas, the athletics is when people give you money, you give them back coin, and then you control the value of that and what they're able to spend.
That's some different thinking too.
I just thought that the way that Tennessee handled it sort of spread the responsibility across anybody that wanted to attend a game. So whether or not you have season tickets and you just wanted to buy tickets for a few games, you would still be responsible for paying that fee. And I think it was at the beginning was $10 per ticket.
And when you're in the club, you get
impact.
Well, the only thing is, too, is like, Scott, and I know, and I might be off on the number here, but like Tennessee could throw that kind of a surcharge onto their tickets for football, and they have a season ticket waiting list of 25,000 people. So there's a huge amount of demand for those season tickets. I don't know what the waiting list at Arkansas is like, or if there is a waiting list at Arkansas. I mean, Tennessee's also a school that just got $20 million from Adidas to switch from Nike. That's $20 million that is going to go straight to NIL. Arkansas does not have that kind of profile to be able to get that. Like, they don't get money from Nike. They don't, or if they do, they don't get much. It certainly isn't $20 million a year like Tennessee's getting from Adidas. So, and I think that's one of the things that Hunter can point to, that anybody can point to. You're in the same league as this school right here. You play them last year, you beat them, you're playing them this year. We'll see what happens. And just based on the profile alone, the alumni base, I think, the size of the school, they're getting $20 million from their apparel company a year. So, and yeah, they are thinking out of the box, Scott. They most definitely are. I appreciate your phone call. And look, all the fans over there in Tennessee that complain because they like Nike more than Adidas, $20 million a year speaks louder.
Yeah, they like national champions. You want to try to win, but when you do that and you're part of the club, you get the soda, you get the popcorn at a cheaper rate when you're paying with Arkansas bucks. And then there's
a membership that you buy, right?
There you go. And it's you're part of the club, the group, and you buy in with your $1 bill or $100, and it gets you $200 worth of merchandise that you're able to get. There's different ways to go about it.
Matt, I want to be a part of a club that you're a part of. Any club that you take part in, can I be there too?
It's as long as it's an anonymous club.
I don't know. We're part of the same club here, and it's not just hosting the show. It's a very specific competition that we're having, which we just no reason to get into at the moment. Let's break on halftime, and before I do that, want to remind you about Rhoback.com. If you're going out to Razorback Athletics, or you just want something that's going to look good anywhere you go, Rhoback.com features great University of Arkansas game day clothing and a lot more that doesn't have the Hogs right on it. Custom designing the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school and any other at Roback.com. 20% off your first order when you use the code RUSH25 at checkout at RHOBACK.com. Roback, where action meets comfort. Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio is next on Halftime.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee. Want to let your voice be heard?
Y'all get me going to work every morning, so I appreciate what you guys do.
Send us a voicemail on the Hit That Line app and speak your truth.
Cheering for the other SEC schools is like cheering for the devil because he's in the Bible.
I mean, I would need a six-pack and a catheter.
Leave us a message for ESPN Arkansas after every Razorback game with our Hit That Line Now app.
You guys are the best. I totally disagree.
Man, hey, them hoes can't do no wrong, fella.
ESPN Arkansas, more than just sports radio.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3,
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
End of season savings are yours right now on Kubota hay equipment at Gray Brothers, including the new DM Series disc mowers, or try Kubota's DM Series trail mowers. And for the prettiest bale of hay on the market, try Kubota's VV Series round baler. With Gray Brothers low pricing and great interest rates from Kubota, it's time for your new hay equipment. That's Gray Brothers equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
The best mornings
In the morning light.
start with Wrangler.
Jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot.
I put my blue jeans on. I put my blue jeans on.
Good mornings make for better days.
Blue jeans on. I put my blue jeans on.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
You let
You always be my heart. You're the mother to my child, and a child to my heart.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Every Tuesday, right about now, we have a chance to talk with Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio. He is the king of college football talk, hosting 6 to 9 on WNSR. Bill, how are you on this Tuesday? What's new?
Guys, last Saturday was as entertaining a Saturday for me as I can recall, so I'm doing well.
All right. What game entertained you the most?
Oh, Tennessee, Georgia. The whipsaw effect of the momentum switches was enough just sitting there to take your breath away. And the way it ended, Tennessee 0 for the last 8 against them, and frankly, 25-point differential, the average in those 8 losses. And they're lining up with I'd say a 43-yarder in the middle of the field, fairly routine. Easy for me to sit here and say that. And he couldn't have pushed it further right. If you'd have put a goalpost next to the goalpost, that thing wouldn't have gone in. And then Georgia won in overtime. It was crazy.
What about that A&M Notre Dame matchup? You come away impressed with is Notre Dame? Are they done? Like, I mean, what is their chances of making the playoff 12 now?
Couple things. You would think the odds are that they're done, but they lost to 2 really good teams, and they had possession of the ball to win the game. Now, the bigger picture is Notre Dame has gone from, since they hired Mike Elko to be their defensive coordinator before he left to go to A&M to join Jimbo, and then Clark Lee took over, and then Al Golden took over, as well a coached defense as any program in the country. They've collapsed. This Chris Ash hired 2 games. They can't stop anything. Now, again, Miami's got Carson Beck who's playing well, a lot of playmakers. Aggies have a lot of dudes too. But this defense has collapsed. Mathematically, I think they're still alive. They can't lose another game. And that's a 50-50 proposition. But the Notre Dame problem is their defense is God-forsaken bad.
There's going to be a problem for them when they play the Razorbacks, Bill, because this Arkansas offense looks like it could really click on all cylinders. You know, if not for the fumble on the last drive, they looked like they were about to beat Ole Miss. That was one of the really entertaining games of the weekend, too, and we really learned a lot about the Hogs. They're going to be a handle offensively, and they got some things to clean up on defense.
The Notre Dame-Arkansas game, I wouldn't have given it much of a thought this summer. You're 100% right. That is a very winnable game for the Hogs with their quarterback and how well he's playing. I think he's playing as well as any quarterback in the league. And Notre Dame's got some soul searching. So, I agree with you. I don't know if you had me bet right now, is Notre Dame going to go 10-0 from here? I probably bet against it.
Pretender or contender, Bill? Auburn and Oklahoma, both these teams 3-0. I know Auburn, it seems like once a decade they catch lightning in the bottle and they're a contender. If you had to choose one of these 2 teams, Auburn, Oklahoma, contender, pretender, which one of those are both of them? Do you think both of them playoffs? So which one you taking?
I think both, but you're asking me to pick one. I'd pick the Sooners. John Mateer, and we've seen a lot of him. And then Ben Arbuckle, the hire that they brought with him, the coordinator. I don't know that I've seen a quarterback in how many years throw basically every pass off platform. And he's remarkably accurate. He does nothing fundamentally right throwing a football. I saw him, guys, in that last game this past weekend. Running, he's a righty, so running to his left, jumped up in the air. He didn't need to. Nobody was by him. Could have planted, and thrown it properly and hit a guy about 22 yards down the field at an angle. This guy is crazy. He looks like a shortstop or second baseman turning two going to first base on every throw. Not quite that bad. And he's remarkably accurate. Their defense is so stout right now, too. And so is Auburn's, but I would take Oklahoma between the two.
And speaking of quarterbacks, what's your thoughts? What's your grade on Taylor Green? If Taylor Green was the quarterback of the University of Texas, I think he would be number one on a lot of people's Heisman ballot. Don't know if he'll get there on Arkansas, but what's your take on how just his transformation, his growth, year two under Bobby Petrino?
I think you could argue he's playing as well as any quarterback in the league. And let's admit, the three quarterbacks that we all favored going in, and I still think there's a lot of talent there, but they're not playing. Lagway is not playing well. Sellers was playing okay, but now he's out with a concussion. We don't know if he's around this Saturday. And then Nussmeier's not playing with a lot of confidence right now. It's their defense that's so stout at LSU. And not only that, but Green's playing that well. Doesn't matter what the others are doing. He's performing that well. Gunnar Stockton played well above what I thought he was capable of, particularly in the passing game. Guys, there was a play where it was 4th and guy for Georgia and about 12 yards. He throws a pass to London Humphreys, who's actually, ironically, a transfer from Nashville, from Vanderbilt. You could not, Joe Montana in his prime couldn't have dropped that ball in there better. And he played remarkably well. This is a better quarterback league, I think, than what we knew, let's say, in July.
I was reading where Brian Kelly was talking that Nussmeier's got a torso injury that he's dealing with, and that may be a reason why there's no vertical passing game there at the moment. But I'll tell you what, I understand why Kelly got upset with the first question the other night after their win over Florida, because everything's been about, they haven't had a defense there with Kelly. They don't have a defense.
Right.
It looks like they've got a defense, and that may turn them into the best team in the league right now, because if Nussmeier gets healthy, watch out.
Yeah, and their receivers are good. They have an outstanding core of receivers that are playing well. You're right, the relationship with the quarterback and the receivers, because of Nussmeier's not where it needs to be right now. But it's still a heck of a talented team. They're struggling running the ball, too. That's another aspect of their offense that right now has got them a bit frustrated.
Georgia Tech's for real. You look at their schedule, they have Georgia to end the season, but as far as the ACC, no Florida State. They just got past Clemson. I think they'll be favored in every one of their games until they get to that last game of the year. Georgia Tech, are the playoff 12 team?
I think based on the league they're in, they are, and they're incredibly well coached. Who had this on their bingo card? Vanderbilt and Georgia Tech among the best coached teams in the country. Without question. So the job Clark Lee has done at Vanderbilt, guys, I've lived here my whole life, is beyond remarkable. And last year wasn't a fluke of it. They're better this year than that team that beat Alabama a year ago. It's amazing to watch.
All right, Bill, off of that thought, I want to play a clip for you that came from the Little Rock Touchdown Club yesterday from Hunter Yurachek, Arkansas.
I know what you're going to – I heard it. Go ahead.
So you've heard it. There's no reason to play because we've already played it a couple of times. I didn't know if you'd heard it. I thought maybe you had.
Now, about the money raising and football, you can't win a championship and all that, right?
That's right. Saying set up to win a national title in basketball, baseball, not football. And look, I think there's a lot of people that agree. I may be one of them. But I also know – The program you just talked about, Clark Lee and Vanderbilt, the messaging that Lee delivered at his first media days, and he was laughed at. He was laughed at for saying, we're turning Vanderbilt into the best program in the country. Now, they're not there right now. But I'm not saying they're on the way to that, but the messaging means something. And I think sometimes when coaches or athletic directors are talking to fans, to who they think are donors, they might not realize the effect it has on players, on coaches. And that's what I wonder about from what Hunter was saying yesterday.
I'm going to say something, too, that might not go over well, but it's true. Your first and foremost job as an AD is for your football program to be right. It is fantastic that Coach Cal can recruit and have a team that's good enough to win it all. And obviously, Coach Van Horn, the job he's done in baseball is just phenomenal. But those are second-class citizens, guys. I don't care what people think about the statement. It's true. If your football program, and I'm not saying Arkansas football program in the current isn't right, but I don't know that you stand up there and you kill the audience by saying we can't win it all. Just keep that quiet. I don't understand that either.
Well, it's something that, dealing with the fallout now, and talking about we got to find that third way, the third way to pay players. And I don't know, it's like, we were wondering about some of the schools that seem to have adapted very well to this era of college sports. And, some of it is large alumni bases and just having a big state and everything. But there's a place like Mississippi that's a small state. They have to share the state with another Division I school. And they seem to have just caught on just as good as anybody else.
It's Lane Kiffin's a Pied Piper. Everybody chips in. That's basically what it is. And again, guys, we talk about it on the show from time to time because I always point out Arkansas. And does any university, other than the Texas oil money, have more corporate connections than Arkansas? I can't think of many. And it's having the money conversation just blows my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, we got people in Arkansas. We just bought a Denver Broncos. We just bought a professional football team. There's money in the state of Arkansas.
Oh, I know. We go through it all the time with the connections they have, and I guess not living there, I probably don't understand it as well as you guys do.
Hey, last thing, Bill. It's back on Pavia here for a moment. I think Diego Pavia may end up having a longer career in college than most NFL stars have. He may be at Vanderbilt longer than Andrew Luck was at Indianapolis. He's apparently looking for a 7th year of eligibility, which just means, does that mean that other JUCO players would get a second added year of eligibility too?
Does that mean that Joey Aguilar gets another year at Tennessee? I think he's 23, 24. I don't know. I don't know, but one more statement that's not going to go over right. 2 weeks ago, after Vanderbilt went over a team you've never heard of, Diego Pavia's two brothers got arrested. Drunkenness, resisting arrest, assault, I don't even know what. And the joke around Vanderbilt is there's too many good guys. That's actually a good sign. Vanderbilt's starting to compete, guys, and they're getting guys in trouble. How about that?
Is that the barometer you go? That's actually a decent barometer to go by. The more trouble your athletes get in, the better your football team might be. It's interesting.
Want the guys in jail on Saturday night. That's good. That's a good sign.
At least you know where they are.
That's right.
Bill, we'll leave it there and react to some more games on Tuesday next week.
All that stuff like we never did it. We'll see you, man.
Give him a listen any chance you get. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio. He's on 6 to 9 on Nashville Sports Radio. That's WNSR. And we'll open up the Lewis Automotive Hotline for you as of right now, 877-377-6963. The home stretch of halftime right after this.
I've been called the songbird of my generation by people who've heard me.
This is Halftime.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality, price, and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco.
For hard work and the great outdoors.
At Road Chevrolet in Van Buren, we know Arkansas drivers. Whether it's trucks for back roads, SUV for family life, or cars for Main Street, we've got you covered. Stop by today to check out our great selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Every Chevy here is backed by Rhodes, your hometown dealership built on trust, hard work, and community. Experience the Rhodes difference in Van Buren, where you...
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Man, this takes me back to the 2000s.
All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty.
You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mo Wash. One call cleans it all.
The Natural has gone to heaven, Matt Jones. Robert Redford passed away overnight at age 89. And I'm not even the biggest fan of the movie The Natural, but if you don't get those little those little specks in your eyes, even listening to that, I don't know if you're really human very much. Redford, I mean, that to me just defines Hollywood royalty. And it's gone at 89 years of age, Matt. It's a catalog you could celebrate. I don't think I've seen everything. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen everything.
That's my favorite Robert Redford movie.
No kidding.
That should be C Unit's homework assignment this weekend. Spy Game's a great Robert Redford movie.
I remember that is a good movie. That would be worth his time. Brad Pitt's in that. It's worth
Operation Dinner Out.
Yeah, I don't remember. See, that's the things I just can't remember. Movie Sneakers is great. My favorite Redford movie is All the President's Men. When he played Bob Woodward.
With Dustin Hoffman. I like that one.
That's a tremendous movie, and it is shown in just about every single journalism class. But I mean, if you're talking Redford, I mean, he founded the Sundance Film Festival, and of course was named after, I think, still his most famous character. So if we're going to sign a Redford movie. C-movie, have you seen Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? You've ever heard of this movie? Do you know who Paul Newman is?
Yeah, I've heard of Paul Newman.
It's the salad dressing guy, right? That's how he knows who he is. Isn't that great? One of the greatest actors of all time. And he might be known for a lot of folks just off the salad dressings alone. But I think that movie may be worth your time. It's about as seminal of a movie as it gets. And if you can put Redford and Paul Newman on camera at the same time, I think you're gonna be just fine. Maybe a double feature, just like the Monday night game last night. 2 of them, 2 for the price of 1. Double feature for C-movie over the weekend. A very early Redford movie and Butch Cassidy. And then I wouldn't even say that's later because he still had about 24 years of life left after Spy Game. But that'd be kind of like 2 bookends. It would work pretty well. And I don't even think we assigned anything to C-movie last weekend. I think, Matt, we might have shirked our teaching responsibility. So that means dual assignment the next weekend. Perfect. And then we're going to have to test him at some point because we know very, very well that he has not studied enough to pass these pop quizzes.
The Old Man and the Gun, that's the last one I remember seeing of Robert Redford. That was 2018, so that's the last time
We got a lot of Jeremiah Johnson texts that have come in, and I haven't seen that one. Is the Jeremiah Johnson movie where the Redford meme comes from, where he looks like Grizzly Adams, and he's got all the facial hair, and he's looking over and he's kind of nodding his head? That's a famous meme that people throw all over the place. I think that was from Jeremiah Johnson. And The Sting, I think I need to watch The Sting because I haven't seen The Sting. So maybe I need to assign something myself. It's not a long trip to Memphis for Saturday, so it's not like Sunday's got to be some full recovery day. And I can appreciate, too, that Redford looked like a guy who'd swung a bat before in The Natural. Out of Africa was after that one. Legal Eagles after that. I mean, talk about a hit parade of a career going from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. 3 years later, Jeremiah Johnson and The Candidate. The Sting is the next year, along with The Way We Were with Bob's. Gatsby after that. 3 Days of the Condor in 75. All the President's Men in 76. A Bridge Too Far in 77. That's a great movie. Brubaker in 80. The Natural in 84. What was he doing for 4 years? Out of Africa, Legal Eagles with Deborah Winger, Sneakers, Indecent Proposal. Matt, come on now. Woody Harrelson.
That's the worst movie I've ever seen. Not a fan of Indecent Proposal. I'll tell you. I sat there and watched the whole thing. Won't ever watch that one again.
The Horse Whisperer, Up Close and Personal. And then he's in what was he? He was in some of the Marvel movies at the end of his career too. So as fresh face as it got, and Hollywood royalty. Too bad. But everybody
Coca-Cola
dies.
Cowboy, Robert Redford hair. You know, they're even singing songs about him.
I guess they are. I didn't quite understand that, though. Coca-Cola hair?
The Rhinestone Cowboy, you know,
Ah.
Coca-Cola Cowboy, got the Robert Redford hair. You're
I
not
got
really
you.
a cowboy. You just look pretty.
See, it's in the song lyrics that I just don't remember all of those. You've got a Venus flytrap
I'm
for a
sorry.
brain.
There's
No, you really
method.
do.
I have no idea what
I don't know how you do that. You're like Rick Schaefer for movie quotes and music.
It doesn't help me.
Like Rick would remember every single Matt. I think you would remember every snap you ever took in your career at Arkansas. It's just programmed in his mind. I think you remember just about every movie line you hear.
Well,
it's amazing.
There's
Helped to memorize a playbook, didn't it?
Well, you got to remember. Yep, that's part of it. I just remember what unit. I catch what he's dropping out. Whatever he gets, I go into.
There's a lot coming out of in one ear, out the other,
Mhm,
right? I think there might be a little bit of that going on. 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Oh, here's another one to rest in peace. Chris in Springdale says Thomas Lindberg, vocalist for At the Gates, who is a Swedish death metal legend. So, I don't know, pour one out for Thomas Lindberg, too. Well done. Very, very good. Appreciate that, Chris, our resident Swedish death metal expert. Oh, so that's a song, The Coca-Cola Cowboy is by Mel Tillis, according to Bart and Rogers.
Yeah, there you go.
That's good. Yeah, JT saw Up Close and Personal with his girlfriend. I didn't see Indecent Proposal. I just remember the
Demi
controversy
Moore,
all around
Woody
it.
Harrelson, Demi Moore in her prime, way before. I think Ashton Kutcher was 7 years old when she was doing that before she was going to marry him.
Was she still married to Bruce Willis then? They were still a couple.
Some real scenes in there that you think, man, that didn't look too fake. That looked like that was a real scene right there.
Yeah, wasn't it $1 million to let me sleep with your wife? I think was the.
That's just
that
the
built-
worst
was
plot
built
line of a
around.
movie I've ever heard in my entire life. That's the worst. Hey, the biggest cinematic reveal in history is Face Off, and that's the second worst right there. $1 million to sleep with you. No, get it. How about I shoot?
Yeah, and he's a real lefty too, with a real swing. Was he a lefty thrower in the movie? Yeah, he is. Redford wasn't a guy that would pitch lefty and bat righty. He's
I didn't see him make any plays in the field in that movie.
Well, he's a pitcher at first.
Okay.
Before he gets, spoiler alert, shot by Glenn Close, he's a pitcher. And he was going to be a star as a pitcher. And then Glenn Close shoots him before he can even start his career. That's after he struck the Whammer out. I love the nicknames of that movie. The Whammer, Pops.
It's like the dumper.
That's exactly right. Yeah, Cal Raleigh is the new version of the Whammer. Yeah, the big dumper. He strikes the Whammer out, and he was played by the guy who's the police chief in Fletch. What's that guy's name? Joe Don something or other. Anyway, and then he goes away for like 15 years and comes back a grizzled old man, and now he's a hitter. And I don't remember him making a play in the field either. I just remember his jersey flooding with blood. And I also remember the book and the movie being completely different. You're aware of that, are you not, C-Movie?
No.
You know that's a movie that was actually adapted from a novel by a man called Bernard Malamud. And in the book, spoiler alert, he takes the money and strikes out on purpose. And in the movie, he tries to give the money back and hits the game-winning home run. So I think you need a Hollywood ending. That's why it's called a Hollywood ending.
No, what you need is a sequel.
Yeah. The Natural 2. This time, first of all, it's got to be a book, and it's got to be after he took the money and struck out on purpose. And then he's banned for life from sports. And he basically isn't that what Chad Powers is about right now? This new show that's coming out soon? I think it is.
Well, I saw your boy. So Eli was undercover at your banana hammock ball tournament. He was doing a first base umpire. Did you see that? I thought that was pretty funny.
That's right. I got the person who shot him wrong. It was Barbara Hershey that shoots him. Yeah, Barbara Hershey shoots him because he met her on the train, and it was Glenn Close that would stand up. That was his girlfriend when they were younger. That's right. Glenn Close would stand up in the stands to let him know she's there.
Susan Sarandon or Glenn Close? Who do you want cheering you on?
Wow. Susan Sarandon actually gave she could coach at the same time. If we're talking Annie Savoy,
she would be Tom Brady up in the box listening to getting the signals. No,
hey man, I mean, I need my chakras connected to the you know what.
That's right.
It's going to definitely be Annie Savoy and Susan Sarandon.
That's
Nothing against Glenn Close. And also, if I have a pet, if there's a rabbit, if you've ever seen a Fatal Attraction?
I believe so. Yes.
All right. So what happened to the bunny rabbit in the movie?
He blew up.
Yeah, he was the drummer for Spinal Tap. That's right. We'll be back and wrap up halftime right after this.
I admire you guys so much. Matt, you're my favorite Arkansas Razorback up there with D-Mac. And Phil, you're the best announcer for college baseball, I think, in the country.
This is halftime.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at goforsgren.com.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. The future of office printing is here with Xerox's Connect Key technology and cloud connectivity. Xerox offers seamless integration, top-notch security, and unmatched efficiency to help your business stay ahead. Don't miss out. Call us today at 783-6600 and ask about our special offer for a free Xerox color printer with many Xerox models. Dixie Digital Imaging, leading the way in office technology.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshield, and slick road quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small.
Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561.
Or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Cushion, the sweeter the cushion. That's what I said. The looser the waistband, the deeper the quicksand, or so I have read. My baby fits me like a flesh tuxedo. I like to sink her with my pink torpedo.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
I don't know if the first 4 lines of a song has ever made me laugh so hard before every time I hear it. By the way, C-Movie, the bunny rabbit was boiled by Glenn Close. Why am I telling him these? There was just a sign in the freaking movie, for crying out loud. Anyway. Oh, man. Gotta throw Spinal Tap 2 on very, very, very soon. But now's not the time to do it. Definitely not the time to do it. It's been an interesting show today. Interesting stuff. A lot of talk on Little Rock Touchdown Club. It's like every week something from the Touchdown Club gives you something to go off of. Find out who's talking next week and see if anything comes from that. And I mean, look, here's some interesting numbers about Arkansas football. Did you know Taylen Green leads the nation in total offense? I'll say that one more time. Taylen Green leads the nation in total offense. 1,173 total yards through the first 3 games. Arkansas is number 1 in the country offensively in converting third down, 72%. I know 2 games against lower level competition, but then 1 game against, and I think that Ole Miss defense is going to be good. I don't think they'll be at the level that they were last year, but I think it'll be better than they were against Arkansas this past weekend. Number 1 in tied with 26 other teams in red zone offense. Not allowing too many tackles for a loss. It's good to see what the improvement we've seen on offense, Matt. A little statistical aspect to it to at least prove, Taylen's been kept upright, but defensively there's a lot to work on, and I'd be interested to see if there's maybe a little more of a simple defense, like Sam was saying yesterday. Just kind of line them up and let them play.
Yeah, let them fly around the field. That's a good defense, a fast defense. Understand the concepts, understand your assignment, understand the strengths and weakness. Every defensive call will have some strength and have some weaknesses. It's where you want to funnel them, where you want to focus them. Where is your help? Usually, the sideline's your friend.
That was something Sam talked about yesterday. Is don't forget the sideline's your friend, and you got to use that as an extra defender.
100%. I still like this team, Phil. I think this team's going to be. They're fun to watch. I think they can win a couple games, and you got to think they're going to upset somebody with that offense. And Taylen Green, man, I've seen him play 3 games this year. He's been the best player on the field all 3 games.
Halftime tomorrow will be Grant Hall, and that's it. Clay's out for the week. Clay Henry's he's in Utah, I think, is where he's traveled with Coach Campbell. So no Clay Henry this week on our show or any of the other shows that he usually goes on ESPN Arkansas. Hey, if you missed anything on halftime, the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast ready to go in just a little bit. We'll have Bill King and Alyssa Orange on the podcast, plus many of our great callers and texters. Ruskin and Zach are coming up in just a few minutes, and we'll see you tomorrow for another edition of Halftime. For Matt and the unit, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, and get better.
Ace has always been the helpful place, and now we're even more helpful by offering instant savings to Ace Rewards members. Not a member?